How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This is video 2 for the day. This is going to be a lot shorter than the first one, so rest assured you don't need to be here for that too long. But I hope you do enjoy the content, and if you are, do consider hitting that like button, subscribe. We are aiming for that 7.5k subs by Christmas. So let's give you a challenge of 250 likes. Let's see if I can smash that. You've been doing amazing for the past few weeks. Thank you so much. On with the video. So first of all, we come to this amazing tweet here. Halo alone already destroyed Sony's Killzone and Resistance IPs. Bear in mind, I actually really enjoyed Killzone and Resistance games. I've tweeted out numerous times to the studios, and I've actually asked them to revive those games because they were fun, they were good, especially Resistance. I really enjoyed Resistance. I really would like to see that game come back. That would just be really nice if it was just like redone, remade in today's aesthetics. Killzone is another, so I really enjoyed those. But yeah, Halo did just completely dominate back in the early days. Now Xbox is the undisputed king of FPS genre, period. With world-renowned titles from OG Xbox, Bethesda and Activision, all coming together to form the superpower you know as the Xbox brand. Simply beautiful. And as you can see, you got Doom, Call of Duty, and Halo. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if we had like a mash of these in one game, kind of working together, like a kind of interdimensional kind of thing where they kind of cross paths into each other's universe and have to kind of work through it? Can you imagine Doom in the world of Halo or in the world of Call of Duty just going and just obliterating everything? Or Halo jumping into one of their worlds? It would be actually a pretty damn good game, I have to say. And like, these crossovers now are absolutely possible. It'd be amazing to see this sort of stuff, even if it is like a cameo level here or there. But if it's like, make it integrated into a story to make it actually meaningful. But it would just be so cool, right? How cool would that be? You're playing a story mission in CoD. You're trying to turn off this reactor. Something happens like Half-Life. Things go, haywire, everything's going upside down, and then suddenly a portal opens up, you get sucked in, and you're in the world of Doom. It's like, what is going on here? I mean, that would be absolutely amazing. And next we have Alan Wake 2. I'm actually really looking forward to this game, one of my most anticipated games. I'm a huge fan of Alan Wake, and, I really do need to sit down and play the remaster just to see how good it is. But Alan Wake is I can't speak highly enough of Alan Wake, and the fact that they had a expansion within Control to continue the story, which probably leads to where this is amazing. It also fills in so many of the questions I had from the original Alan Wake. Really good stuff. But Alan Wake 2 is said to have a free and significant DLC, but it's also going to have a paid DLC. I know a lot of people are really upset about this right now, where it's not going to be available for physical. As you can see here, no physical, no buy. So in other words, they will push it out and finish it later. It's not the case. Why does people planning ahead with DLC always mean bad? If they were to incorporate some of this DLC stuff into the actual game, it would probably be delayed by another year. That's not to say that this game isn't complete. The game can be complete, and they can already be planning on future stories that they want to start working on. But you're going to get a free DLC, which is supposed to be huge, and then there's going to be another paid DLC to continue. And who knows, if they are successful, maybe they'll continue. And I'm hoping the game is actually good, because I'm a massive Alan Wake fan. I'm not going to hide that, but I'm actually really excited for this, and the fact that after the game is finished there's more to come just gets me all the more excited. So this one here is actually I'm on two minds about this. I wanted to know what your thoughts are about this. Would you be interested in buying an Xbox branded phone? We know Microsoft wants to make big mobile push. There's no denying that. The whole purpose of them buying Activision Blizzard King was for King. I kind of wonder if it would be feasible for them to make an Xbox branded phone. Apple revealed AAA games on their phone locally, and now that Xbox owns Activision Blizzard and Game Pass, they have the content to make it work. And Microsoft's hardware doesn't sell well. 360 was fine because it was cheaper and first the market for that generation. Surface, Connect, their phones, they just don't sell well. That's why they try and push the software so much. And there is a truth to that. I actually really like the Surface phones. the clamshell design. It looks like a DS, but it's like 2 separate screens. Looks beautiful. I've always wanted to buy one. I'm still trying to find a Surface 1 for a really good price, so I can just play around with it. The Surface 2 is actually a lot more beefed up, but they actually cancelled the Surface 3 phone and went back to the drawing board to kind of redesign it. So we'll see what happens with that, but it would be really nice if they actually came out onto the market with their own foray, like with kind of Game Pass built into it already. I don't know. It could work. It could work, but would it push aside Samsung and Apple? I don't think so. I mean, I would buy one. I had the Windows phone, which I absolutely loved. Still one of my favorite phones to this day. I really love the tactile look to it and feel to it with the tiles. It was just great. I really liked it. It's a shame that there was no support for it, but I still love that phone to this day. Right, so this one over here, Unleashed. Remember I was talking about him in my previous video? I love the fact that they're still clinging on to this Baldur's Gate 3, dominating even Call of Duty. Because now, right, every PlayStation fan out there thinks Activision Blizzard King games are trash. Call of Duty, trash. Diablo, trash. Overwatch, trash. They weren't the ones crying all this time to make sure the CMA blocks the deal because they can't live without their COD. But now, it's all trash, it's all crap. Every game that they've ever made, from Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, you name it, Guitar Hero, they're all rubbish. They're trash and no one wants them. They've never played an Activision game in the past 10 years. In fact, the fact that they've been alive for 20 years and they haven't played an Activision game in the past 25 years says everything, right? They are hurting, and they are hurting bad, and they're looking for anything to be able to counteract this. And you know, they're posting this and showing how Call of Duty is behind Baldur's Gate. Not even a first-party game from Sony, right? So I then turned around and said, oh look, first-party Xbox game Call of Duty is number 4. First-party Xbox game Starfield is 12. But let's look at the first-party Sony game, boys, at number 15, right? 15. So you don't talk about your first-party titles. So let's all celebrate Counter-Strike 2 for beating everyone, right? I mean, how sad is this idiot? Like, he is so butthurt about everything, and now they're attacking Call of Duty because Call of Duty is now the thing to hate. Call of Duty is now the thing to hate, excuse me, and yeah, basically all Activision Blizzard games are now trash. I mean, you can't make this up. And now you've seen, like in my previous video, Metro and other outlets are now attacking Activision and saying, you know, Microsoft wasted their money on Activision Blizzard because they don't make any good games. Like, you literally can't make this up. How sad and pathetic these people are. I mean, we all knew that they were going to go on that bandwagon. It was too obvious, right? But the fact that it happened so quickly, I think caught many off surprise. But Metro I expected, because Metro is just a vile piece of shit. But PlayStation fans, I mean, he's not a PlayStation fan. He doesn't even own a PS5. But he's like saying, oh, I'm Baldur's Gate 3. I don't own a PS5, and I definitely don't own a PC to be able to play anything meaningful. Baldur's Gate 3! Yeah! Hypocritical pieces of shit. And this one, I think, sums it up nicely, right? If you actually think this, you're delusional. CoD hasn't been outsold in years, and even with the shittiest titles like Vanguard, it still was number 1. The Unleashed thinks that Spiderman 2 will outsell Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on PS5. How many of you actually believe that? How many of you believe that? How many of you believe that? Do you believe that? Let me know in the comment section below, because honestly, I don't. Call of Duty has been the number 1 game for whatever reason, whether I agree with it or not. It has been number 1 on the PlayStation charts, and on most charts, actually, for the last 3-4 years. It's why Sony fought so hard to stop the deal from happening, because they relied on that Call of Duty revenue. And no matter how butthurt these people are, it's obvious that they are really hurting, and they're looking for anything to cling on to actually make themselves feel better. You know, This is a ludicrous statement to make. But you know what? Like the Metro said, you know, they're expert journalists. They are insane and accurate in what they say. PlayStation should merge with Sony. I really think that that would be a perfect merge opportunity. And it's one that I genuinely believe that the CMA and the FTC or any regulatory body out there would have a problem with. If Sony today tried to merge with PlayStation, I think it could work. I don't know, chat. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, because I genuinely believe that despite all of the regulatory problems that Xbox went through and the scrutiny that they went through, even with PlayStation being the market leader and, you know, holding such a huge grasp on the market in the gaming industry, this is one of those situations where I genuinely believe that if Sony tried to merge with PlayStation, no one would have a problem with this. I don't think Xbox would have a problem with this. Microsoft wouldn't have a problem with this. I don't think the CMA, the FTC, I don't even think Stadia, who decided to come out of the woodworks for one last hurrah, would have a problem with this. They could even get the bullshit lying analyst that came onto the FTC trial to try and give his explanations, and even those would probably at this point be accepted when they want to merge Sony and PlayStation together. Because that, my friends, is a match made in heaven. Those two coming together, you couldn't really ask for more. Now this one over here with Alex Smith, he's pretty much got everything wrong in everything he said. He claims to be an insider. He hasn't gotten a single thing right as of today. But he believes that Bandai Namco is going to be bought out, you know, is going to be merging with PlayStation. Not Sony, PlayStation, because the Sony and the PlayStation merger hasn't happened yet. That needs to go through the regulatory board. But he believes that this is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. Sony apparently intended to buy Activision Blizzard, but decided that it wasn't worth the money. More like they didn't have the money. Microsoft wanted a higher percentage and no longer provided 30% for purchasing in-game items from Sony. Sony didn't like this at all, and at the beginning of September there were two strategies discussed by Jim Ryan. Wait for a possible denial of the Activision purchase and initiate an acquisition in addition to Bungie. As has already been said by other media outlets, Hiroki Toyoki has great ambition in mobile and cloud gaming, and he believes that Sony can go further. Remember that some games owned by Aniplex Sony are already very successful in Asia. And it just goes on to talk about it. And basically says, going further, Sony is fully confident that the next two FPS from Bungie, Condor, and a great FPS coming from Firewalk Studios, whose quality has been compared to CoD in conversations between Herman Hulst and members of the studio, the game is already playable. Now, oh, it was Concord. Now keep in mind, right? Everyone was saying, if it was so easy to make a Call of Duty game, just go make one. And clearly that's what they were saying to Xbox. Well, let's see how these games come out, and let's see how they're going to challenge Call of Duty, because it'd be really nice to see that, you know, they actually came out and did something, you know, with what they were telling Xbox to do. Because Xbox fans were saying the same thing. Go make a Call of Duty competitor. If they actually do it, kudos to them. But this story here, a whole of fabricated BS. Now this right here is a win for Sony, right? Sorry, is a win for PlayStation, because the merger hasn't happened yet. Revealing the Logitech G-Adaptive Gaming Kit for Access Controller, developed in collaboration with Sony Interactive Entertainment and the accessibility community. Now, obviously, there are a lot of people who are impaired, physically impaired, who can't play games, who can't hold the controllers comfortably like we can, and they need special controllers. Microsoft has been doing this, Sony has been doing this over the past couple years, and they've been pushing this agenda really, really hard to try and get more people to game. And I'm really happy to see that PlayStation is stepping up and actually delivering on stuff like this. This is really, really cool stuff. This is getting more people into gaming, and you know, as gamers, we should be embracing this and promoting this, and you know, just applauding this sort of action and behavior, because yes, this means corporates are going to make more money, yada yada yada. I don't care. At the end of the day, they're going to make money anyway. But to get more people who couldn't game before to actually game, that's a freaking win in my book. So kudos to PlayStation for that. You know, well done. And I hope PlayStation and Microsoft and maybe even Nintendo at some point enters this fray, because they make a lot of accessible games, you know, kid-friendly games, adult-friendly games. And, you know, them entering this field, if they haven't already, would be awesome. So, you know, a win is a win, and I commend them. And as you can see in the comments, you know, let's go, looking fresh again, huge win, awesome. You know, and there you can see the Xbox one as well. You know, this was the accessibility one for Xbox with the big button so they can use it. And, you know, I'm really for this sort of thing. And obviously someone's going to have to come in there with, you know, why I don't get it. I don't get it. But, you know, everyone unanimously pretty much, except for that one dude that has to be the saw one out, is saying that this is a great thing. And I agree. Absolutely massive win. And it's a massive win for gamers. Right, folks, that's it for this video. Like I said, hoped it would be a shorter one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. It wasn't a shorter one. It was about the same amount of time. But I will see you in the next one.